let's go ahead and get into this Batman v Superman case, right? This trial right here.
Know, right? Dun, 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 dun.
See Batman walk with a briefcase.
Bang, 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 bang.
Dum, 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 dum. You want to come up on? I'll just, I mean, you know what's funny? Because nobody can do that song without doing the whole thing.
Yeah. Created by Dick Wolf. That's not a name.
All right, call me Wolf Dick.
In Gotham City, there were villains and there were heroes.
Okay, let me
Change that, Martin?
let me, oh, sorry. That's right. Let me get you in the picture right here. People, Will Valley.
There you go, buddy.
Will Valley. You want to scoot out a little bit, Martin, so we can focus my man right here? There you go, right there. Get him into a little focus right here.
Focus.
So you can see how wrong he is. You know?
Clearly.
Yeah, now, before we do this,
Yeah.
now be real. Be real. Don't come in here trolling and shit. Don't.
I don't do that.
That's bullshit.
I don't even. What's a troll?
You. Look on that TV right there.
The ultimate.
Yeah. Shit, when you got to Austin, you moved under a bridge, man. Come on. I found the place, Corey.
How are you making money? I'm charging people to cross.
That's why I work for so cheap.
Yeah. All these goats, man. They got so much money. Now, so
It's $1 each.
Let's just put this out here.
Yeah.
Will Valley, and I hope you do this. I hope you're not trolling because I want a different opinion than what we have. If you've watched our review, and if you haven't, go on doubletoasted.com. Go to our review section. You can see our review for Batman vs. Superman. If you want to go to YouTube and look it up, you can get a short version of it there, or a shortened version of it there. All of us not too favorable about this film. We all thought it was rentals and not very enthusiastic rentals all around.
Right.
I had the highest when I said high rental.
Can we, just to parlay it into the show, can we do a quick cut that bitch off review of Will?
No, I'm part of the show.
Yeah, fuck that.
No, cutting me off.
How dare you?
Well, I just want to hear a quick synopsis. That's basically what
You know what? That actually is a good thing to recommend there. If you want to give like a minute wrap up, or make it a minute. Just
Make it a minute. You're going to cut me off anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Okay.
go ahead.
What would I say about this? I think that this movie actually tries to do something that I haven't seen before. And I actually wrote about it in the opinion article that I put up a couple days ago. I seriously believe that this thing tries to break format and break the template that we're so used to with Marvel films and tell a story in kind of a different way than we're used to. And I think that it's getting chastised.
Mojo is mad at you. Mojo's like, you know you full of shit.
Well, I don't know.
Go ahead.
I think that it's getting a lot of...
Dude, anytime Will starts speaking, Mojo is growling.
Well, he's just
Talk
staring
again.
at
Yeah,
me.
no, say something again. Say something.
Hey. How you
No, go
doing?
ahead and give your review.
No, talk about the
yeah,
movie.
yeah. Okay. Anyway, I think...
Man, he really hates that movie.
I trained my dog to hate Will.
Or no, he understands Batman, Superman.
My dog is smarter than you think. He knows that movie's full of shit. All right, I'm sorry, Will. I didn't know that. Go ahead. He'll leave
put
you
him
alone.
out.
No,
Side.
go ahead. We'll ignore him.
I don't even know where I was, man.
Okay.
It tries to break
Trying something
format from the
new.
Marvel movies.
Yeah,
It
and,
something new.
and tries to do something new. And I think a lot of people aren't really used to it and used to the way that Snyder and Affleck try to tell the story. And much like a lot of movies that come out when you're not expecting what's on the menu, or if you're expecting something specific on the menu, you don't get it, you instantly kind of push it aside. And I think that a lot of people have done that because they weren't sure what they were going to expect, and the trailer sold them on something that they didn't get.
Oh, what do you give it?
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, what's the one right below Better Than Sex? Just full price?
Full price.
Yeah, I give it full price.
Full price.
Yeah.
Okay. And no trolling, right?
No,
You really
no
mean
troll.
this? Okay. All right. And I appreciate that. I really do. I appreciate this because this motherfucker, he's gonna pull some shit. Let me just give y'all right now. He's gonna pull some shit at the end of this. Like,
a smoke bomb and fly away.
I know. Let me just ruin your shit right now. At the end, he's gonna be like, really? I really hated it.
Retards.
Special guest, Porno Chris.
Just to let you know, we think you're full of shit. So don't try to pull this, but
I'm not.
I will tell people this. What I want to do here with this discussion is that I want to talk about things that people haven't really talked about yet. We've talked about the whole thing with critics and the people who hate the critics who are not liking the movie. I don't want to talk about some of the things that people have been picking on a lot, like Jesse Eisenberg as Lex Luthor. I don't want to keep picking on just necessarily Zack Snyder and saying, this is what he always does. Now, I will tell you, there's a lot of stuff that happens at the beginning of the film that I thought was pretty good as far as dramatic elements go. All that stuff with the morality of Superman, all the stuff with the morality of Batman. I like that they were setting up a different Batman. I like those things. But there are some things that also we didn't talk about in our review and we haven't talked about yet that I thought actually, as you said, set up a different superhero type of movie. For one, the movie opened up with Superman going to save Lois Lane. Was it Africa where he was? Or
Namibia.
Okay, and if you've seen the movie, you know what we're talking about. And he gets there right when there's a shootout. There's dead bodies everywhere. Mm-hmm. And I thought that was a good way to set up a film where we've always questioned, well, if Superman's here, why come the world can't be better? And it's like, well, Superman clearly cannot be in every place at once, and sometimes he gets there a little too late. And I thought that scene showed that the world is still a really kind of fucked up place. And for the dark movie that Snyder was trying to make, I thought that set up the grittiness of what he was trying to do. You said a lot of good things. I'm saying some good things. And I know you guys are really harsher on the movie than me, but what about some of the good things you can say about this?
I think basically what we said when we did our review the first time, we were saying that we loved, I loved the how Ben Affleck portrayed Bruce Wayne and aspects of Batman. It's just good things. Can we even say anything good about Superman?
He's not in it a lot.
You know what?
That's maybe the saving grace.
Yeah. You can say that he looks cool. When he's fighting. I really think that it's true, and that's what everybody agrees with. They say Zack Snyder. If for any reason people wish that he could pull back, it's so that he can take those images and apply them to something of fucking substance. Apply them to something cool. Can you imagine if Zack Snyder had a great kick-ass script that everybody, the majority of people came out and said, man, that was a fucking amazing. And with those images that he had, we would have the greatest comic book movie there, I believe. And Martin, brother, I'm so sorry I ever went against you on this. I argued you on this, and I'm saying it right now. You will hardly ever hear me sit up here and kiss ass on Martin like this, but I'm saying, brother, you had it right the first time. When you said that this Batman shouldn't kill, he's killing people left and right in this, man. Even in this scene, he's broke somebody's neck.
Oh yeah. Like he really went all like you watch Daredevil and he beats the shit out of people and he cripples them, but Batman he full out murders people.
Yeah, that dude is fucked right there.
Well, just even that chase scene, blowing up cars. And Zack Snyder, it's frustrating for him to say like, well, it's collateral damage. He shot the car, and the criminal just happened to be in it. It's like, man, that's making me madder than anything else. If you would say some bullshit like that.
I actually and that's a big thing people didn't like about it, because obviously one of Batman's biggest things is I don't kill people. I like the way that how they show basically the progression of, all right, you went from being this altruistic figure that I don't kill people, that I've been doing this for so long and the crime isn't getting any better. Yeah. I got to do something. And he starts branding people, and he knows basically when they go to jail, they're going to get killed. And so basically he's just cutting out the middleman and getting it done himself.
That's some moral acrobatics he's pulling there.
But here's the thing. Go ahead.
Well, just the thing is, okay, you go like, yes, finally, we got a Batman who kills people. That's awesome. That Batman who kills people is now a criminal. Like at the point where Superman is like, hey man, I got to shut you down. You can't be like, oh, Superman, why don't you mind your own business? Like, no, actually, that's a fucking problem right there.
Hey man, you killed Zod. What the hell? Like, you should be in jail.
Yeah, I snapped the neck of one dude, but you're actively going out looking for people to kill.
He was going to kill Superman. Why? Because Superman has the potential to be a mass murderer.
He's a god.
But then you get Lex Luthor, who is going to be a mass murderer. He's going to destroy half the town and not have a care about human life. Why don't he fucking kill Lex Luthor? If he's out to really stop somebody, if he was willing to kill Superman because Superman was a threat, then what's to keep him from killing the Joker when the Joker keeps escaping? Like the third time, you're like, all right, motherfucker, you got to go. What's to keep him from killing Lex Luthor at the end of the movie when he saw him in jail instead of just saying, you know, wherever you go? It's like, no, let's just end this shit right now.
Well, that just seems like, to me, that seems like a natural progression for a vigilante. Especially like, I mean, he's what he
But
started.
this is the beginning of this universe, right?
No, he's old as shit in this.
This is the
Robin's
beginning.
dead.
This is the beginning of this franchise. So are we going to get this is the beginning.
Nah, man, this is him being Batman for like 20 or 30 years.
Corey, this is the beginning of the DC cinematic universe.
Well, Man of Steel.
Man of Steel.
This is the beginning. Man of Steel was a movie. This movie right here is the beginning of this franchise.
Right.
I'm not talking about the history of the characters. I'm talking about business-wise, the beginning of the franchise.
Right.
So now they're already introducing Suicide Squad. They're introducing all the characters that Batman fights, his rogue gallery, you know. And what's to say, like, okay, when I start running to these dudes, I'm gonna, instead of just making movie after movie or having story after story, I'm just going to kill these fuckers now. Get them out the way.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying it's an end all be all. Like, you got to be either black or white. Like, there's a gray area. He's gonna. Nobody should be. I mean, that's something you hear a lot in comic book movies. You can't be judge, jury, and executioner. But like, that's basically what he's playing right now. He's like, all right, I feel like, I've busted this person so many times, or I know what's going to happen if I let them get out. Like, unfortunately, I got to do this.
Do you see how this could be a problem for the franchise?
Yeah,
though?
I'm not. You act like I like this movie.
Man, you defending like that.
No, I'm a fan of Batman. So like, I'm not saying I like Zack Snyder's take on it, but I'm not that upset about it because it just feels like this would be the progression of a man that runs around in a suit at night and beats up gangsters. Like, if I've been doing this for 20 or 30 years, it's going to get to the point where my fist is so bloody I can't fight nobody. I'm about to shoot a bitch or two.
Yeah, no, I get you, man. Let's talk about your boy Superman. Can I tell you why, for me, and let me ask you. I'll ask you.
All right.
Why does Superman work for you in this movie?
Work for me? Well,
work for you.
He doesn't.
Oh, he does? You don't like Superman in the film?
I don't like Superman anyway. He pretty much is the villain of the movie.
You think?
And they set it up multiple ways by saying that, Lex Luthor says something, Bruce Wayne says something real early on, and we don't really see a whole lot of Superman. And when we do see him, it's sort of intermittent scenes, and it's just showing day-to-day life.
I think that's one of the bigger problems I have with the movie. I mean, my overall problem with it from the beginning was that everything is so dark and dreary and dour.
When everything is going dark, Superman always manages to find a way to smile, make it something cool, and also make other people's day. That's why people love Superman, because Superman is this guy that just, not only is he saving people, but Superman will stop in the middle of nothing and save a cat from a tree if he has to.
We live in this world now where negativity is pushed, and everybody has suddenly like taken Superman to be the guy who he's the avatar of their insecurity. Like, oh, he's so Mr. Perfect. He thinks he's so great. I wish somebody like Batman would punch him in the face. Like, why? Just because you feel bad about yourself?
Well, but that's the problem. Let's say you even want a dark Superman. The whole time, that's been the contrast. The frustration with Superman for people, I think, in a movie. Now, this is how I would see the movie. I'm making my own film right now, but I really think Superman would have been a better character. The people hate him. There are people who love him, but a majority of people really don't trust him, don't like him. And somehow he finds a way to still hold himself up and be positive, not mopey and shit and emo all the time. And the reason why you need that is because that is the contrast between him and Batman.
Yeah. Right.
Batman got that scowl and angry, depressed shit down. Superman's the one who's going to be like, oh, what's wrong, old Bruce?
Well, no, you're forgetting the end when he came up like a little kid. Hey, man, I got to tell you something. Lex Luthor got my mom. I'm so mad. I'm like, man, get your ass out of here.
But that's another thing, man. We need him to be charming. And that's why this fight doesn't work in that case, because he wouldn't be mad and like, I got to take you down because you're trying to hit me. He'd be like, hey, look, man, I don't know who you are, but I have to tell you, citizen, that this guy has my mother. Let's work together.
Right.
Why didn't they talk before? No, why did they stop? Because it's like, wait a minute, my mama got the same name as your mama. That was the stupidest thing.
Well, okay, another problem.
Your mother's name is Martha? So is mine. Get up, man. I'm sorry.
Bestie!
Yeah, hey, let's go get ice cream together. We'll get your mom. Don't worry about it. And they never explain why Lex Luthor really hates Superman. I mean, they try to when he's at that dinner and he's giving a speech. It's like, so much power without the knowledge. Why can I be that powerful? It's some petty shit.
He doesn't need to
on.
hate him to want to fight him, though.
No, I'm talking about Lex Luthor pitting them against each other.
Yeah, to the point of like, bring me Batman's head.
Well, he wants both of them gone.
Yeah, why does he hate Batman?
He wants Batman gone. He wants Superman gone. He wants the whole Justice whatever League or whatever that he designed logos for.
Exactly.
Exactly. Considerate of him, by the way.
Like, thanks.
So he wants them dead, and then he creates Doomsday because he knows that there's a threat coming. He knows it's going to be Darkseid or whatever it is.
But that brings another thing with them, with him talking about having his mother and everything, because he has his mother. And he makes Superman sit up there and listen to all this bullshit.
Right.
And Superman's like, oh, I can't do nothing because I don't know what my mama is. But, you know, the whole time in the movie, there's twice where he came out of nowhere to save fucking Lois Lane.
Yeah.
Well, he can hear her heartbeat.
Well, he can't hear his mama's heartbeat?
That's his problem. He doesn't fuck his mother. He knows Lois Lane's heartbeat.
No, you know,
Kind of true. You know, like, how often have you laid on like your girlfriend's chest and be like, all right, I mean, obviously you ain't gonna know her exact
No,
heartbeat.
man.
If you're Superman,
but he's
you might.
Superman.
y'all made him sound like the most pussy whoop superhero in the world,
He
man.
is in this movie.
I can hear her vagina calling.
He is. She just queefed. That's her. That's her.
That's another thing. It's like, you know, your mother's tied up, and you know he's a mama's boy. He's the biggest fucking mama's boy in the world. You can't hear your mama screaming and crying, but you can hear Lois Lane over in fucking Africa. It's like it doesn't make any sense.
Well,
no
they had
goddamn
gagged.
sense.
She was gagged.
You can't. You don't got an answer for this.
Come on, man.
That was the answer.
Come on, no. It's a bullshit answer.
And she's surrounded by a lot of other guys who have heartbeats, so it's just a murmur.
And Lois wasn't surrounded by other guys who had heartbeats. All
No,
those
she was
mercenaries?
falling off of.
all those Africans. All those Africans.
No,
and
see,
the mercenaries. that
They
she
were
was surrounded
calm.
by?
They were calm, and
Man,
she
get
was.
the fuck out here.
Yeah.
Here's another thing right here, and I would really like to hear your opinion on this, because you said something a little while ago where it seems like you saw this as being silly too.
Okay.
You got to admit, the way they introduced it, they introduced the Justice League on a thumb drive.
On YouTube. It's basically what 5 YouTube videos we watched.
Yeah.
I love that he was able to just like instantly chat Wonder Woman too. He's like, oh, hey, what's up? We're on the same messenger. That's
AIM.
totally dope. Yeah, Super AIM.
Cutie Bat 63.
He couldn't even get Batman 1. There's like 800 other Batmans out there.
Y'all can sit up here and say Lex Luthor is conniving as smart as you want to. It really didn't make any sense for him to strategically place cameras where every hero was, like on Aquaman's doorstep, so you can see the dramatic entrance of his eyes glowing.
Well, I assume he gathered that footage.
Yeah,
from
those were
different sources.
GoPros that everyone else
Yeah.
bought.
Like one was like security camera footage
For the
from-
Flash.
For the Flash and everything.
Yeah.
It's just, and you know what, people, I will actually give you that if you want to justify how that footage was taken. That's fine, but there's no denying that they were rushing that, you know, to have it all on one screen in one scene at one time, so we could point to wait a minute, we got footage of this too, and it's like,
Yeah.
nah, man.
I mean,
You know,
they did it in one of the movies before the Avengers, but it was a little bit more subtle. I can't remember which one it was.
that's
But you
the-
saw all the heroes on screens and shit like that.
But it
I think
was- it wasn't
Iron Man 2.
It was clever the
Yeah.
way it was in the background.
Yeah, it wasn't in
focused
your
on it.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know,
let's stop the movie.
It wasn't click. Oh, that was cool. Click. Oh, that was cool. Click.
yeah. And as you said, they all had their own icons. And
Well, I
shit.
assume that Lex was like a graphic designer at one point.
Oh, he has a
before
great-
he became evil.
He's got a great marketing team. You know,
Yeah,
I'll give you that. I'll
they
give
had
you
that big
that.
X, and then he wanted to use it.
Yeah, I'll give you that right there. Man, he's a rich dude with a lot of resources. And I'm just a little worried about them with Zack Snyder having him kind of be, you know, the head of all this stuff. He's got Justice League. I worry about when they give him the head of it, and we see what's going on here. Every fucking film has had the same complaint.
Yeah.
They told him to stop blowing up shit. They made a movie to explain why they blew up shit. And then
in the
this,
beginning, but by the end, he couldn't help himself. He had to just blow up the world again.
Touch the button.
They made a movie to explain why they blow up shit, and hey, we won't do it again. And in the film, they start blowing up shit. You know, it's the same shit that we get from them, man. It's the same stuff over and over again. It turns into spectacle, and they never learn a lesson. A lot of it has to do with your director who you got. It worries me that they tell all these other directors, look, we're not like Marvel where you got one guy slave driving these people. We ain't like, we're the creative studio. We give you your freedom. Every director's going to have their hand on that. No, sometimes directors need to be told what the fuck to do.
But until another movie is made by another director, you can't really sit on that laurel right there.
What do you mean by that?
Because you can't say that Zack Snyder is heading up everything and now it's all going to shit off of 2 movies only directed by him. If it's an expanded universe, you need
You have
more
two
movies.
They're
movies.
giving him the biggest property.
You still
of
have
that
to
movie?
wait and see what comes out.
Yeah, we gotta see what the other movies do.
Yeah.
I mean, even I feel like that. Like yeah, I didn't care for this much at all. But hey, you know, Wonder Woman. Who knows what they
Could be
do with
amazing.
Yeah.
My question is, do you think?
and I
because-
like Wonder Woman in this.
because
I
of
did
I mean, obviously, this is one of those films like Transformers that's critic proof. Do you think there will be a possible diminishing return on like the on investment? Like
Yeah, well-
the audience is going to start turning away if this trend keeps continuing.
I think we have grown to accept things. You want to use the Transformers, you want to use some other big budget films, you learn to accept those because right out the gate they're fucked up and they clearly tell you, all right, you know, this is what you're going to get no matter what.
Movies like this. Go ahead.
I was just going
Yeah.
to say, like I said before, this is not a franchise as it is a lot of franchises, and you know, and your biggest movie is going to affect how the other movie, your smaller films, are going to perform.
And this is funny. We talked. Martin and I were talking about Blade Runner before we saw this movie, and I was like, yeah, like I watched it, and it was the theatrical cut, and I really didn't like it. And you were like, well, I saw the director's edition, I loved it, and that's what most people say. So it makes me wonder, like, all right, this is a big mess of a film. I wonder if the 3-hour director's cut will be worth making you watch the movie
I
again.
think
Like
it's
maybe it could be
supposed to.
better?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually heard that it was a 3-hour movie for the longest time, and then at the last minute they decided to cut it down to 2.5 hours so they can get more viewings in. And they also thought it was way too smart for people. So that no, I'm not kidding.
in the head trauma ward, yes, that's what too smart for people.
So they wanted to,
You're
you know,
six.
separate a couple scenes and try to lighten it up a little bit.
Well, even
Lighten it up.